I made a video the other day talking about the fact that almost for the first time, Amir Khan is going into a big fight, or seems to be going into a big fight, with the correct mental attitude. I'd seen an interview in which Khan had said that he has to box in this fight, because if he loses concentration for even a second, he could get seriously hurt and taken out by Canelo. This is what Khan was saying. But, having said that, he's saying all the right things for once, all the things that personally I like to hear from him to give himself the best chance of winning the fight. Now he's turned around and said, beating Canelo will make me pound for pound number one. Khan is not only obsessed with fighting Floyd Mayweather and to a much lesser degree Manny Pacquiao, but maybe even more than that, he's obsessed with this mythical pound for pound title. This is what he's been after all his career. This is why he wanted to beat Floyd Mayweather, because he wanted to take the mantle as the number one pound for pound. Let me tell you something. Amir Khan beating Canelo will not make Khan pound for pound number one in anyone's book. Khan is deluded here. Pulling off an upset is a great thing, but it don't make you pound for pound. When Mike Tyson got beat by Buster Douglas, at the time before that fight, many people had Mike Tyson as number one or number two pound for pound. Douglas beating him did not elevate Douglas to that position on anyone's pound for pound list. That is what Amir Khan needs to understand. That's what he don't seem to understand. And I think Amir Khan, a lot of fighters have bigger egos than the average human being. And in a certain sense, they have to reach the heights that they reach as professionals. There are some exceptions of really humble guys, or at least outwardly humble, but inwardly, they may also have big egos. But there are a few examples of guys who are outwardly humble, who are at the top of boxing. But predominantly, you have to have a very big sense of ego to be able to achieve big things in boxing. You have to have incredible self-belief, but it's a double-edged sword, because having that type of self-belief can spill over into delusion. And that is a very fine line which Amir Khan has been treading throughout most of his boxing career. And in fact, most of the time, in my opinion, he's been, wandering over into the delusional side. And that's something he has to be very careful of. I think that's something which has cost him several times. When he was with Freddie Roach, maybe it wasn't entirely his own fault, but he saw himself as the new Manny Pacquiao. Obviously, he's not a southpaw, he's not Filipino, etc., etc. But the way he was trying to fight, being extremely aggressive, the combinations, even Manny Pacquiao's idiosyncrasies he was trying to copy as well. Tapping his gloves together after he got hit with a shot. Jumping around like Pacquiao. In his head, he thought he was the heir apparent to Pacquiao. And as I say, this ego of Khan's has got him in trouble so many times. And just for Amir Khan's sake, I hope it don't happen here again against Canelo. Now, I'm picking Canelo to win. I think even if Khan outboxes Canelo, he won't get a decision. And I think there's a very good chance that Canelo's going to catch him with a big shot anyway and take him out. But nonetheless, I like Khan. I'll be rooting for him in the fight simply for the fact that I don't like the way Canelo, who I like as well, but I don't like the way he has this catchweight title. And he's doing as he pleases and kind of making a mockery of the middleweight division at the moment. Fighting at 155 catch weights and all this kind of stuff, and fighting Khan, who's coming from 2 divisions below him. From a moral point of view, I'd like to see Amir Khan win the fight. And in order to do so, in order to give himself the best chance of doing so, in my opinion, he needs to forget about all this pound for pound stuff. Put that ego on the back burner. Deal with the matter at hand. You got a dangerous fight here. Forget about all this pound for pound stuff and what you're going to think and feel after you beat Canelo. Beating Canelo is no mean feat for you, Amir Khan. And it won't make you pound for pound anyway. Beating Canelo will open the door for Amir Khan for other big fights. It will do that. It will make him a bigger star in boxing. But then again, some of you may not be aware that Canelo Alvarez has a rematch clause in his contract for the Amir Khan fight. So more than likely, if he was to pull off the upset against Canelo Alvarez, he'd just have to go fight Canelo Alvarez again in an immediate rematch. And some people have criticized Alvarez for this. But for those of you who don't know, this is a voluntary defense. And when most champions make a voluntary defense, and I do use the word champion in inverted commas, but when most champions make a voluntary defense these days, there is a rematch clause. So there's nothing unusual about that per se. But nonetheless, Khan would be obligated more than likely to face Canelo again. And can you see them allowing Khan to get away with another victory? If he did pull off a victory the first time, I certainly can't see it. Canelo would have to change tactics, which I'm sure he would. Maybe fight in a smaller ring, do whatever the hell he had to do to get his title back. So anyway, those are just my thoughts and musings on this whole Amir Khan pound for pound situation. To me, I'm concerned that his ego is creeping in a little too much here, all over again. Let me know how you feel about it. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.